So tomorrow's or Thursday's test for you guys in this case, let's go over a review so that you are prepared. Although we have been reviewing since last week, I've been giving you questions. So here are the questions. We're going to go over them. They're going to be on video. They will be on YouTube. These type of questions are on your test. Focus with me. I'm going to start here where it says to evaluate, where the variable x is equal to -3 and y is equal to 4. After we do this, we're going to do some of your review booklet that you had for homework the last 4 days, plus we had corrected some last week. So this, I will pick numbers, correct them on the board, and you'll have them to study for your test this week. Okay? Here we go. I'm going to replace my x with -3 and my y with a 4. Let's not forget, this means multiplication, this means multiplication, so the brackets are definitely needed. Plus x minus y, x being -3 minus y of 4. Why did I not put brackets around the -3 and the minus? Why did I not do that? Yes. Because there's no multiplication. You see here it's a minus. So I don't need to put brackets. Because here I needed my brackets because there's a multiplication. If I drop this, what happens? I have -5 minus 3. That's not what it means. It's a multiplication. Here, it's not a multiplication. That's why. Okay, I know I've said this a lot of times. Here we go. Negative times a negative is a positive 15. Times 4 is 60. Over here, -3 minus 4 is -7 squared. -7 times -7 is a positive 49. Final answer, 109. Now, you can do this at home. You can rewrite this and give yourself a little test tomorrow. And then just follow with me and see if you can get 109 again. That's going to be your way of studying. When I ask you to label, the reason I'm asking you to label is I want to know, do you remember what the coefficient is? Well, in this case, it's the fraction of -5 over 7. So -5 over 7 is your coefficient. It's been on the last 2 quizzes. The exponents are 2, 3, and the invisible 1. Those have been on your test, the last 2 quizzes. So exponents, 2, 3, 1. The degree is the addition of your exponents. So I'd have 6 as my degree. And this is called, by the way, since there's only one term, is called a monomial. Okay, when there's 2 terms, if I had plus 10, 7x, that would be a binomial. If I would add another term and write plus 3, it would be a trinomial, where I would have even a constant. Let's move to number 3, where I'm simplifying. And how powerful is this negative? Very, because it's going to affect both terms on the right. These brackets, nothing. They can fly away. They can leave. They disappear. They disintegrate. -5x plus 2. Why? Because there's nothing here. But in this case, the only way that the brackets could fall and disappear is if we do negative times a negative is a positive 3x, and a negative times a negative is a positive 1. Now I go looking for my like terms. I start with my first term and see if there's any that are alike. -5 plus 3 integers becomes -2x's. Plus 2 plus 1 is a plus 3. So we actually have a binomial as my final answer. constant of 3, coefficient of -2, variable of x, easy. Translation, we need to turn algebra words or the English language into an algebraic expression. So what does it mean, 6 more than 4 times a number? A number represents a letter. So we could choose any letter we want, usually X, so we stay on the same page. 6 more than, what did I tell you about stuff like more than, less than, subtracted from, added to, fewer than? What did I tell you about those specific, be careful situations? Yes. You reverse. So the 6 now doesn't come first. So this is not right. 6 plus 4x. This is not right. It has to be 4x plus 6. Please note that this is the correct answer. And the product of 6 and a number is simply 6x. Not x6, but the constant being, not the constant, the coefficient being first is 6x. Lastly, number 5, you're going to see this on your test. You're going to see this on your test. It's just basically the same as this stuff. Just that there's only 2 here. So 3 times -2 is -6. Just changing colors. -6x to the 3. And this one is telling you that it's -5a. That's it. That's all. It's like distribution. This is distribution, multiplication distribution, division distribution. This is on your test. Okay, continuing with the review for test 1 in a couple of days from now. This will be on your test as well as this will be on your test. Now, I didn't go into too much practice with this, so let's make sure we get it today. This one here is 10 divided by -2, which is -5x squared. Then -4 divided by -2, so it's a positive 2x. So that takes care of that. It's like a distribution, but in division. Distribution in division. So -15 divided by -3 is a positive 5x squared. And a 6 divided by -3 is a -2 or a -2, whatever you want to say. Then you look for terms that are the same. So this is like this. It ends up being that you have none, 0. So you put nothing. You have no x squared. And then you have a 2x, so you write down 2x, and you have a -2. Final answer, 2x minus 2. Over here. Over here. Everybody's going to read it with me. We're going to read it together. The length of a rectangle. Oh, let's see. Look at the service. We're going to be black and blue. Merci. The length of a rectangle. Read it with me. The length of a rectangle is 4 more than its width. This last word is usually the one that happens to be x, the unknown. It's the one we know the least amount about. We know a little bit about the length. We know the length is 4 more than the width. But what do we know about the width? Nothing. So the width is going to be our x. So in general, whenever you see a perimeter question like this, in general, 95% of the time, the width is the x. So can you please all draw a rectangle and make your width x? And now let's look at what the length will be. The length is 4 more than its width. What's 4 more than this x algebraically? X plus 4. 4 more means plus 4. X plus 4. Does everybody see that this is the width and the length is the width plus 4? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whew. Now, what does it ask you for? The perimeter. And the perimeter, which we know how to do because that we did work on, is to add the sides. So I have another x here, and I have another x plus 4 here. So what is my final answer? Well, it's to find out how many x's I have, x plus x plus x. So how many do I actually have? 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. And I have a plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is a plus 8. Does the order matter?
Yes.
No. When you're adding perimeter, any order, as long as you add up all the sides, will give you 4x plus 8. This is your final answer, people. The perimeter of this question is 4x plus 8. We will do a few more in a minute. Take notes of that. So I'm going to start with the last page. I think it's the most important thing to do. So I'm going to start with the last page. We're going to start with number 5. Number 5 is asking me for the perimeter. Now the perimeter is the addition of all sides. I just want you to be careful that you need to distribute in this side and you need to distribute on that side before you can add everything up. So watch what happens. 7, I'm taking this, times 2x minus 6, plus, check it out, doesn't matter which order I go, I'll go here, 4x plus 3. Checks out, I'm going here next, plus 3 times 5x plus 8, and the last side is 4x plus 2. So I could have put the 4x plus 3 together with this one and multiplied it by 2, or I could have them separate the way that the picture looks. And now I need to realize that I need to distribute this. Before I go any further, I need to distribute that, and then put all my x's together, and then put all the numbers together. So let's do 14x minus 42. Carry down everything just so that we don't lose focus. Distribute 3 times 5 is 15 x's. Plus 3 times 8 is 24. Plus the 4x that's just coming down. And the 3. For now, we have the distributed whole here. But what do we have to do? Simplify. Put all the x's together. This x, these x's, these x's, these x's. Put them together. So 14 plus 4 is 18. 18 and 15 is 33, 33 and 4 is 37, am I right? So 37 x's, and how much do I have here? So using your calculator, you have minus 12. Should be no mistakes for this part of your test. Will be on your test. This is the type of question. Now here, we're not that used to these type of questions, but we are used to it once it's in this format. So let's take it from the word problem. Perimeter is the addition of all sides. Now, most of the time, the last thing you're going to see, the one that we know least amount about, is usually the width. So check it out. Here's my rectangle. The width, I know very little about it, but it's an x. Most of the time, your width is going to be an x. 95% of the time in grade 8, your width will be x. We know nothing about it. But we do know a little bit about the length. And they say that the length measures 6 centimeters less than twice. What's 6 less than twice? A number. What is 6 less than twice? A number. You know, we've done these in translation. What's 6 less than twice? Don't forget, we're going to have to flip these over, reverse them. Yep. So twice means 2x. 6 less means minus 6. Now, let's look at this again, this expression. 6 less than twice a number. How about if I would have said 6 less than triple a number? What would you have done? Yes? 3x minus 6. How about if I would have said 4 more than twice a number? 4 more than twice a number. 2x plus 4. And so those are the type of expressions you're going to see. And if they ask you for the perimeter, paying attention, if they ask you for the perimeter, you do the addition of this, plus another one over here, plus another one over here. And you line it up like you did here, like you did here, and you put them together, and you simplify. So we have x plus x. Does order matter?
No.
No, it's a perimeter as long as I add up all the sides. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's, and I have minus 6 is a negative 12. Final answer, you can't do anything, you can't do anything else. Why? Because I didn't tell you the value of x. I only told you the expression that it can become. Please try this on your own. Please try this on your own. Draw yourself a rectangle. Remember that the x is mostly the width. And now try to figure out what the length is here by reading this. 4 more than triple. 4 more than triple. 4 more than triple. Tell me what this expression is. And then find the perimeter by simplifying. All right, so I'm choosing 3 questions from the review, the worksheet, to correct. That will definitely be on your test. So let's go through them. If you need to go back to them tonight, tomorrow, please do. So this here is 10 divided by 5 is 2x. 25 divided by 5 is a plus 5. That's a distribution in division. Now I have a distribution in multiplication. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6x, and negative 2 times negative 4 is a positive 8. What's going to happen now is I'm going to simplify by getting negative 4x. You're allowed a calculator. You're allowed to write 2 minus 6 to get negative 4x. You are allowed to do plus 5 plus 8 is positive 13. Do I have to go any further? No. This is your final answer. I have no value for x. I don't know what this is worth. So you leave it as a reduced, simplified algebraic expression. In this case, I have this negative that is so powerful that to release the brackets, for the brackets to disappear, we need to make this times this. So now this becomes 2x squared, and a negative times a negative is a positive. Now the brackets are gone. I carry down everything down here, and I go looking for terms that are the same. Oh, x squared are the same. 9 plus 2, I have 11x squared. Oh, there's 5x. Oh, there's the x's here. Oh, there's x here. What's this? What's this?
1.
A 1, a negative 1. So, oopsies, it's a negative 1, so I have 5. Plus 4 is 9. Plus 1, no, minus 1 is 8 x's. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So plus 8 x's. And probably this one might scare you. Maybe scare you? No. Remember, 30 divided by 6 is 5x squared. Negative 24 divided by 6, if you don't know, you use your calculator, is negative 4xy. Over here, 25 divided by 5 is a 5x squared. 40 divided by 5, calculator, plus 8xy's. Go look for the ones that look exactly the same. X squared, bada bing, bada bang, 10 of them. You have these guys and these guys that are the same, minus 4 plus 8 on my calculator becomes plus 4. And you just add the xy to say that's what we are talking about. That's your final answer for the 3 questions, number 4 JKI. The last 2 questions that I'm going to correct are going to be F and H, number 3. This is evaluating. So I replace the letter with 6, Y with 8, and Z with. So what I'm going to do is Z is a negative 6. 3 times 6 plus 8. Integers from grade 7. 3 times 6 is 18 plus 8. I do what's in brackets first is 26 multiplied by the negative 6. So this now is negative, I don't know. Calculators, negative 136? 56?
That's what I got.
People, can you write negative 6 times 26?
Negative 156.
Perfect. Yes?
I got another. Wait, I don't know what I did.
Okay. Stick with that way. Ready? Just quickly for the video. Yeah.
I got the answer, I just did it a different way.
Okay. That's the same thing that he said. Okay, let's keep it with that. Simple. Letter H. 3 times Q means 3 times 3 is 9. Minus whatever's in brackets 4 plus 3 squared, which is also a 9. So I have a 9 here, minus, in brackets, 4 plus 9. So 9 minus 13 is a negative 4. Make sure you have that. I'm shutting down. I might have a few more minutes. So for F, the quotient of a number and 9. The quotient of a number and 9. This is how you should do it. It's division. A quotient means to divide. But we don't use the division symbol. We don't use this symbol. We use the fraction bar as a division. So a number and 9. For G, the product of a number and 7, 7x. You always put the number, the coefficient first. You do not write it like this, even though that's how it says it. It says the product, which means to multiply, of a number. There's your number and 7. You do not write it like this. You write it like this. And lastly, 8 more than the square of a number. 8 more than. More than means to reverse. More than. The square of a number looks like this. The square of a number. If I said the cube of a number, it would be x to the 3. And what's more? How much more? 8 more. So it's this here. So final answer for H is that. And if I look at number 1, I said we would do A, B, C. We have number 1, A, where we have negative 6x to the power of 4y. This is a monomial. They ask you for the coefficient. Negative 6 is the coefficient. The variables are x and y. The exponents are 4. And what's happening over here? An invisible 1. And then they ask you for the degree, which is the addition of the exponents. So it's equal to 5. Those were the 4 questions that were asked on this page. I'm just correcting A, B, and C. So B right now is saying negative x to the 5 y squared. Question is, what is the coefficient? What is the coefficient? What is the coefficient? What is the coefficient? Negative 1 is the coefficient. Even though you don't see it, it's kind of hidden. The 1 is there. This is the coefficient, the number. So negative 1 is your coefficient. Then they ask you questions like the variable. You say x and y. They ask you for the exponents, 5 and 2. And the degree is the addition of 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. Last question that I correct for today. This is all on your test. It's been on your quizzes. Is negative 3x to the power of 6 over 5. It's been on the last 2 quizzes. What is the coefficient? It's a fraction of negative 3 over 5. The variable is x. The exponent is 6. And therefore, because there's only 6, the degree is also 6. Please review this video tonight. Hello, everybody. You're going to see me say that tonight. review it, go over it, practice. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. This is a great place to be. If you see me and I look silly, it's a good thing. Bye. Hope you practice. Good luck on your test.